Hello, boys and girls. Thanks for joining us for our art lesson today. I do apologize. I don't have the capability to do Zoom at my house, and by surprise, we had a big, huge snowstorm and weren't able to come to school. But I still wanted to make a fun lesson for you that you can draw along with and follow along with. So I will post the video that we learned to draw this elf on a shelf from. And in this video, this is just an example of what I'm using my imagination for to come up with the background. So you're going to complete your own background. This is just an example and maybe to give you some ideas. So here is my elf on the shelf. And I do want to say that if you are from a family that does not celebrate Christmas or something, that's fine. You know what? You don't have to draw the present in there. But this guy, he could just kind of be a fun snow character. Or he might even be a fairy, or he might be just kind of, he might be like a gnome. Or you can use your imagination. It doesn't have to be Christmas. You can kind of make him anything you want. But if you do celebrate Christmas, that's fine too. All right, so I added my elf on a shelf here. And this is my subject, right? Because the subject is the main part of the drawing, what the drawing is all about. So I'm going to write that back here just so you can see. The subject is the main part of the drawing. And in this drawing, it is my elf on a shelf. Okay? So then what you're going to come up with and use your imagination for is the background. You could also say you are adding the details. So you are going to use your imagination to figure out, where does this elf live? What is he doing? And again, maybe he's just a little guy playing out in the snow. I'm not sure. But you're going to use your imagination to fill in the whole background. Now, a few things when you go to fill in the background. Let's say that this is your whole paper right here. So you want to fill up all of the space. Fill up all of the space. Okay? You want to use as much of the paper as you can. Another thing that's helpful is draw big. Drawing big helps you in a lot of ways. One way it helps you is it's easier to correct your mistakes and it's easier to erase things, okay? But when you draw big as well, a lot of times we tend to draw too small because we're afraid of making a mistake and we think that people aren't going to see our mistakes if we draw small. But if you try to focus on drawing big, then it's easier to fix your mistakes and you can actually create better drawings, okay? So those are just a few of the ideas that can help you when you are working on this elf on a shelf, or whatever you want to call him is fine. So when I was looking at my elf on the shelf, I thought he looks really, 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 really happy. And again, I'm using marker, but you should be using pencil, but it's just easier for you to see my marker. So this elf on a shelf looked really, really happy to me. He looked super happy. So I thought, you know what? I bet you he's dreaming. He's probably daydreaming about something. But I'm going to imagine that he is sitting maybe on a shelf, but kind of in the background. On mine, the details that I'm going to add are going to be that he is sitting by a window. So I'm going to add that in there. Now, if my window is behind my elf, then I'm not going to draw through my elf. I'm going to put the elf in the front, okay? And we talked about this before, that this is space in art. Space is an element of art. So if I put something behind something else and I can't see it, doesn't go through it, it makes the illusion of 3D space, that you could almost walk right into this piece of artwork, okay? And I imagine that outside of my window, There's snow on the hill over here. Maybe there is some sort of a evergreen tree outside. And I imagine in my world that it's snowing, and I'm going to put different kinds of snowflakes. Now here's another cool thing that you can do too. I'm going to put some small and some I'm going to make really big. That's just kind of a cool look when you have different sizes of things. Okay? So that's what's happening. Ooh, you know what I just thought in my imagination? I thought, you know what? Maybe there's a little animal who left his tracks as maybe it's a bunny who hopped along, and maybe he hopped up over that hill, and maybe he's hiding out behind this evergreen tree. I'm going to put his ears there. Because really, in your world, you can imagine anything that you want. Again, you are not copying my drawing. I'm just showing you an example of how I imagine my background. Maybe they'll give you some ideas, but you need to use your own imagination. So he's sitting here on this shelf. And actually, I think that see his little feet down here? I think that my elf is actually sitting over a roaring fire, because maybe he's just roasting his feet. Maybe it is really, really cold outside and he's just roasting his feet. This to me kind of looks like bricks. So I'm going to make this look like bricks. Okay, so maybe it's bricks and maybe it's wood on the top. But there is a roaring fire with some jagged lines under here. And maybe he was outside playing and then he just decided to come in and he wants to roast his feet over the fire because he was playing outside and it was really cold. Oh, can you see that there? So maybe he was just playing outside and it was really, really cold and he wanted to roast his feet over the fire. But my elf is dreaming. He is dreaming of some things. Let's see if I can adjust the zoom on this just a little bit so you can see the whole paper. There you go. So he's dreaming of some things. And he is dreaming, my elf is dreaming of a few things. So what I'm going to do up here is I'm going to make kind of like a few bubbles. These are some things that my elf is dreaming of. Okay? Maybe I'll make 3. I'm going to put this, because I'm going to make this so it looks like this is what he's dreaming about or what his thoughts are about. Okay? So he's going to be thinking about or dreaming about a few things while he's roasting his feet over the fire. This one up here, you know what I'm going to put up here? I think that he is dreaming about maybe he really wants a candy cane. So I'm going to put candy canes here. But this is just my world and my imagination. You can put whatever you like in your world and whatever your imagination allows you to dream of. In this one, I think I'm going to draw a nice big mug of hot cocoa. I think he really, really, really wants a mug of hot cocoa. So in here, maybe there's even some little marshmallows in here in the hot cocoa. A little bit of steam or heat coming off of that. He's dreaming of hot cocoa. And the last one, let me see. I think I'm actually going to put another one of these in there. I think he's also dreaming of presents. Put a little bow like this. Okay. So in your world, you can imagine anything that you want. I don't want you to copy mine. I just wanted to show you this is how I'm using my imagination. So you're going to dream up your own background. Fill the whole space. Okay, use pencil. Draw lightly at first so you can erase. Draw big, fill up the whole space, and use your imagination. You know what? I think he needs a name right here. And I'm going to call my elf Edward. You can give him a name if you want to. You don't have to. But this is my elf on a shelf in my world. Again, if you celebrate Christmas, great. If you don't, you can make this guy anything that you want to make him. Okay? So make sure that you go ahead and submit this to Dojo when you're all done. Add color. Take your time with your coloring. Don't just be the first one done. Use nice, smooth coloring. Even weight on the crayon. Fill in all of your space. Don't leave any white space. Fill up the whole paper. Submit to me on Dojo. And make sure that you do your checklists. Because when you do your checklists, I can give you Dojo points. Okay, again, I apologize for not being able to do Zoom today. But I hope you enjoyed this drawing. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of your artwork. See you next time. Bye-bye.